Good morning, everyone. This is YC from YC Cooks and Bakes. This morning, I am going to be making some lemon Scottish shortbread cookies. And I wanted to show you this recipe because it's really good. There is nothing like a really good shortbread cookie, especially during the holiday season. And all good shortbread cookies start off with butter. So that's what we're going to be doing this morning. I will start off with my glass bowl so you can see. And I will tilt you forward so you can see me putting stuff in it. Okay. We're going to start off with 2/3 cup of butter. And of course, just to make it easy, I get the sticks, with the measurements. And so it's going to look like this. I actually had these taken out yesterday so they'd be nice and soft, but it got too late last night and when I was going to do it, and I decided I wanted to go to bed and threw these back in the fridge. It is what it is. Okay. Now I need a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, and that's like an icing sugar, the real soft kind. It looks like this. Okay. And then we want 1 1/2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. We need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, especially, don't forget this, especially if you've used unsalted butter. Okay. And you want 1 1/6 cups of flour. And what they mean by that is they want a cup of flour, and then you're going to have some down to knead the dough. Let's see here. I'm trying to aerate the flour. I don't want it solid, when I put it in the cup. That's not a good idea. All right, let me see what this looks like. That's good. Okay, and then let's see. You're going to need also, I don't know if you've ever made shortbread, but there's also cornstarch in it. And we need 1/3 cup of cornstarch. Okay. I'm going to put this on here. spoon. It's really messy to work with, like baby powder. Okay, and we're gonna need also a tablespoon of lemon juice. But let me get up some of this flour right now, otherwise it just gets all over me. Hang on 1 second. Okay, I got, you know how I make messes with flours, I got it cleaned up. But now I have to put in a tablespoon of lemon juice. And you can put in a teaspoon or half a teaspoon of lemon zest if you have a fresh lemon in the house. I don't have one today, and I'm not going to run out just for a lemon. But I do have, lemon juice. It's, yes, it says 100% lemon juice. Okay. And just so you know, I'm preheating my oven to 300 degrees because shortbread you cook at a very low temperature. And let me see. Yeah, for 45 to 50 minutes, depending on your oven. And then when the shortbread are done, you have the option of whether, you want to sprinkle them with more icing sugar or not, the powdered sugar. That's completely up to you. Some people like that little sprinkling on the outside. Some people rather have them plain to pick up with their coffee and tea, But if you've ever seen the Scottish shortbread in the stores, this time of year it can be quite expensive just for, even just a half pound of it. It can be quite expensive for those. So let's see. I'm going to shake this and put in my tablespoon of lemon juice. There. I love lemon stuff, like lemon pound cakes, lemon cake, anything lemon. But you don't have to make this lemon. There's lots of, shortbread recipes that aren't lemon, but this is the, the Scottish shortbread cookies that have the lemon in them. And I want to show you my cookie cutter. This is the shape I'll be using. And they primarily use like rectangulars and squares and trapezoids and, the square kind of shapes, rectangular, as opposed to round cookie. Now, if you have an embossed rolling pin that has the engraved wood with the pretty designs, you can use that when you roll this out, and it makes a beautiful cookie. I have like 4 rolling pins. None of them are embossed. They're just basically for pie dough and stuff. Now, I am going to be using my dough hooks. And if you don't know what a dough hook is, it's like it's on your beaters. I'll show you. See, it's on my beaters. And that's a dough hook. So instead of, what the cake mixer ones look like, it looks like these. And so I'm going to be putting this on. So if if you have your headphones on or earbuds, you may want to turn them down before I put this on. I'm just giving you a heads up. So we're going to put these on at this time. Simply because I didn't leave the butter out like I should have. these aren't doing as good a job as I wanted. So I'm going to see if I can break it down further with my fork and then try again. I'll be right back. Okay, now that I broke it up with a fork a bit, I am going to try it one more time. So watch your ears. Okay. Let's see here. It's a lot better. Now I don't have flour flying everywhere. And the more you work the butter, the more it goes into a ball. Okay. I can work with this now. Before, when it was all loose, I wouldn't have been able to work with it, but now I can. Okay. All right, I'm going to go get a spatula. Okay. Get this out of the bowl. I'm going to put down a little bit of flour first. That's that 1/6 that they're talking about. And back you up so you don't get flour all over you like I got on me. You know me, I like to put flour everywhere. Oh, goodness. Okay, got a little bit down there on my surface. Now, take it out of here. There, because I mean, this stuff's really good. You don't want to leave any of that goodness in the bowl. Okay. And don't worry, this isn't like bread dough or pie dough. It's not that hard to knead. It's a very soft, velvety kind of dough. It's very delicate. And if you've ever had a really good shortbread cookie, they're very buttery and light and delicate. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. And the reason we're needing this because we want to be able to work with it, you know, with a cutter. So I want to cut it into shapes, you know. Sounds like someone's cutting tree, you know, like pine trees and stuff outside. Okay, I'm going to, hello, Moto. Okay, I am going to go get one of my favorite rolling pins. Right back. I don't know if at this stage I can roll it, but I'm going to try because I don't want to overwork it either. You know what I'm saying? If not, I'll just pick it back up and knead it again. Ugh. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see what I can do with this. And let's see. Now, it might be a little too delicate yet, but there's one. I'll see what I can do with it. And I'm pretty sure with all this butter that you don't have to, you know, butter the pan or anything for the oven, because then it would be too much. Yeah, it may be a little too delicate yet. This is what I'm thinking. So I'm going to knead it again. I'm just not comfortable with how it's cutting. Okay. I have a sugar cookie recipe that with cutouts that's really easy, and it's nice and sturdy, and it's not delicate like this. So I will knead this a little bit more in some flour so you don't have to wait on me. I'll bring you back. Okay, this is cutting a lot better now, I see. You'll see how, see, I don't know if I can show you what that looks like. It's like a diamond. See? And we'll fill up our cookie sheet. And then these will be beautiful to put, you know, of course, with other cookies for the holiday time of year on your tray. It's hard for me to show the, I think you get the idea of the kite shape. And of course, I have flour all over me now. I have to have flour all over you or something didn't turn out right. At least for me. If there's flour all over you, it means something good was made in the kitchen. Just shake it out. But I don't want this. See how this comes off the side of it. I don't know why that one went like that. I'm not keeping it. Okay. You know, you can always roll them over again. You know what I mean? Because in some spots, this is what I'm noticing, that the dough is, depends on how thick and how, you know, how much you're rolling your dough. Depends on how thin you rolled it, how thick you roll. I would leave it a little on the thick side because it's easier for the cutter to cut. You know, I don't know if when I was looking up this kind of recipe, if they told you how thick to do it. I'm not sure. I'm sure they did somewhere. Okay. The beauty of it is you could just roll it again, you know. Just like you do with biscuits, you know. I'll tell you what, those dough hooks I used are really good for biscuits. It brings it up into a ball like no time flat. And there's another, see, like that. I may make, I don't know about today, but I may make my green holly leaves, and that's with green sugar on the top of them. You shake this. If you cut this and shake it, it should come right out. If not, you may not be using, you know, enough flour on your cookie cutter or on your surface. Okay. Now, the only thing about this dough is it uses a lot of butter. And, you know, butter these days especially is not cheap, which is probably why when you go buy a small box of this really good grade of shortbread, that it's probably so much money. But it's really enjoyable, isn't it? Oh my goodness gracious. There's a world of difference between shortbread that has been stretched at a bargain brand name to the really good Scotch shortbread. You can tell the world. I can tell the world the difference. This one just like literally melts in your mouth. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, so I will get this done and I will pop them in the oven. Hi, they're still in the oven. I have about probably a little more than a half hour more to go on them. That's the only thing. They take a long time in the oven. But I wanted to at least, I mean, I got all the dishes cleaned up and I got it, you know, everything all wiped up and everything. And every time I washed my bowl and would put it on the other side, it would flip back over again. So I was like, I was making it. And the dog looked at me like, what in the world? I said, oh, come on, like you've never growled before. She thinks I'm crazy. Um, anyway, I wanted to say, what is your favorite Christmas cookie? Maybe you could leave it in the comments. Do you like the sugar cookies, or would you rather have like a piece of fudge? Or what is your sweet tooth at Christmas during the holidays? Um, Maybe even one from your childhood that you remember that you know your grandma used to make, or your aunt or something. You might have a really good childhood memory with you know, where those baked goods were there every holiday, you know. um, I know my dad's mom, Meme Papard, she would make uh, the date squares all the time. You know, she always made tons of pumpkin pies and carrot cake and everything, but she always had the date squares, which I do have a video on. I love those when we go there, date squares. And then my meme Beneteau, my mom's mom, she would make these sugar cookies that had glistening sugar on them with the 3 raisins, and I've made those in one of my videos. It's in one of my pictures where they're like a vanilla sugar topped sugar cookie, and they have the 3 raisins, and I mean, just they're light, but they're perfect with a hot cup of tea. Oh my gosh. And you'd think, you know, something so simple. Now, she used to make this maple fudge that my sister used to go crazy over. we go we would go to their place at Christmas, and she always had that bowl uh, in her living room, like a little TV tray set up. And she would have that glass bowl of that maple fudge, and my sister would go right to it. She just loved it. I know she couldn't eat that now. It's like way too sweet for adults, you know. She used to just love that. You take a bite and you just kind of shake. It's sweet, you know. Um, but I do have a sweet tooth, so I wish I didn't. But this only made like 22, and I think if you make like have a smaller cutout, you'll probably get a couple dozen for sure out of this recipe. Which is great when you're making other recipes too, because you only need a little bit of each kind of recipe. If you're someone who does a lot of different kinds of baked goods at Christmas. Um, but anyway, I wanted to talk to you about that. And these won't last but a hot minute in this house. We have four great big men in this house that are, and big, I don't mean fat. They're all 32, 31-inch waists, but they're all 6 foot and more. So they'll be gone. Okay, I'm going to take you, bring you back when they're done. Okay, they're finally done. Actually, I let them go a little too long. You know how butter is; it'll start to burn eventually, and they'll stop. So they're not as light as I would like them. I like them more, you know, more of a lighter color. But I wanted you to see that even though they get a little tiny bit puffy, they really don't spread into each other. And I wanted you to be able to see that. But these are very good with coffee and tea, and they're made with. There's only a third cup of icing sugar in these, so it's not a lot of sugar. The decadent part about them is the butter, and you can only imagine how great it smells in here right now. So if you're looking for something like this, or something that you can put icing sugar on and have, real pretty during the holidays, make this lemon scotch bread shortbread cookies, and it'll be an interesting flavor and texture and decadent to your cookie tray this holiday season. I hope you give it a try, and these will be gone in no time in my house. Have a great day. Bye bye.